What does Ulan mean?
It means Red Gate.
And after the lunch, we're gonna visit a nomadic family. In here, we drive on the left-hand side in the car, the wheel on the left and the right-hand side. Both is driving on the right-hand side in the car. During the springtime, they move a little bit closer to the river, but not really. so it means it's still, we're still in Ulaanbaatar. Yes, we're gonna stop here. And we are having 30 minutes.
That would be amazing.
Oh, take it photo. Judy.
No, I'm good. Yes, thank you. Susie.
Oh, isn't he lovely?
All right, come it.
Fine,
Right,
Me.
right, box.
Oh, both sides camera.
We're keeping everybody waiting now.
Oh.
Margot, isn't it? She's gone around the other side of the rock anyway.
And here is actually very easy to move. So the wall itself is actually like a wooden Lego toy, and you can actually squeeze it into a little piece, and you can easily, with the help of the 3 people, you can easily bring down a gear within 1 hour. And you can also build it up again in 1 hour.
What about all the furniture and white goods in it?
Yeah, all together. It's just
Pack up house.
How do they move it though?
they move. Nowadays they use truck to move the gear, but back in the days we used bull cart or horse cart or even a camel cart.
Geez, David. How long have they been here? Can you ask her, please?
She's been living here for 25 years.
Oh, it hasn't moved.
In the same place?
No, she moves. She moves 3 times a year. So,
Why do I cleaning out?
cut and save the grass for the winter for their animals. So, she is offering some milk products and all natural, and it's nice to have some of these with your right hand. We do milk horses here, but it's for another purpose. We ferment the horse milk, and that is for making the alcoholic beverage. So the fermented horse milk is actually like traditional beer for us. So during the wedding, we used to drink that kind of alcoholic beverage. And also we drink the one which is called nirmil, which is yogurt vodka.
You talked about that.
Yeah, we also drink yogurt vodka during the wedding. And she got some fermented horse milk.
Do you want to?
And what do you do
If
with the
someone
sheep milk?
wants to try it.
The sheep milk.
Sheep milk?
Are we supposed to be starting?
Well, we milk sheep and goat as well. We also milk camel. Basically, we milk everything.
And what do you do with the camel milk?
We also make it, we ferment it just a little bit, but it's not really alcoholic. Only the horse milk is alcohol.
David,
So those who want to try some fermented horse milk,
you want some fermented horse milk? Thimble full of Do you want to share?
Yeah. Thank you.
Extra cheese for
bread. That's like a traditional bread.
Like that?
What's it taste like?
It looks like what they gave us on the
It's sour, right?
burnt up.
Isn't it sour?
Do you want to try?
Yeah.
Look, I drank from there.
One for try.
Oh, it's very acidic.
She's right into it. Nobody can hear yours, are they, Judith?
Well, I drank from there and Suzanne drank from there.
Oh,
If anybody wants to.
I don't think it
Depends on
I don't
family.
think it
Some-
is one from
Barry?
Some of the families can live in the gear.
Anybody else?
Even up to 6-7 people, they live inside the gear. English they didn't know English.
English
Did the cheese go that way?
Too.
근데 어디서 이게 뭐 진짜가 됐다 기체 소고 쟁게 되어
During the summertime, when the school break starts, all her the grandchildren comes to her and stay here. But from the day after tomorrow, the school's about to start. Everybody went to the city.
Is it too rude to ask how old she is?
It's fine. Tani gittin nasıl oluyor? She's 75 years old.
Thank you.
Oh, you downed it.
Someone scolded.
Where does she get her power from? Does she use solar?
Well, there's a central electricity poles around here.
I just hook into one of them.
She also, she pays for the electricity every month.
And then disconnects when she moves.
What's the rope?
Well, good question. This rope is for to hold down the gear, to tighten it. When it's really, really windy, sometimes when it's really strong, it can blow up the gear. So they tie a heavy stuff from the bottom of the gear. This rope is actually made out of the horse and camel hair.
All right.
Where do they get their water from?
From the river, and there's a well right next to her current. It's quite close, about 40-50 meters away from here. Yeah.
Will she move before winter?
Yeah, she will move for winter, and she's actually about to move in next few days. Yeah. Because she has to cut the grass and save it for the winter.
And then where do they store the grass when they cut it? Just underneath a tarpaulin or something?
Yeah, they put something
over the top of it.
Over the top of the grass, and also they can save it in the animal shelter as well. But
and do the animals have a shelter for winter?
Yeah,
oh,
they do.
Good.
She's bringing some. Yeah, these are cow dung, and we use it for cooking and everything.
Right.
That's the children's work to do.
All right, that used to be your job?
Yeah. But
you
mine
have
was
to
different.
drive.
My job was to ride a horse and look after the sheep up to the mountains.
So how many layers?
With the family during the school time. Children don't live in the family home during school time.
School time, they go to the nearest city.
And who do they live with?
And with their relatives,
Okay.
with her relatives, or they can stay in the dormitory as well.
How many layers on the ceiling and the walls? How many? And what are the layers of fabric?
It's like it's felt actually,
Yeah.
made out of the wool, and for the summertime there must be just one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And during the winter time it can be 2 or 3.
And then what about waterproofing on the top?
Waterproofing, we also put the plastic bags between the layers.
Between the layers of felt.
Does she move to a fixed building in winter?
No, she stays in here.
But quite a lot of nomads still go to a fixed building in winter, don't they?
Well, very few of them. It's not really common. The nomadic people always stay in gear. It's more comfortable for them. So, in the countryside, most of the nomadic families own rifle. But not here, because it's national park. Because during the winter time, the wild animals is quite dangerous for them. It's because during the summertime, when it's crowded, like this, the wolves, the wild animals, they go deep in the mountain. But during the winter time, when they get hungry, they come and attack your animals. So they must own a rifle to get rid of them. But these people, they use firecrackers or something
To scare them.
to scare them. Yeah. But it's because it's national park. We don't shoot inside of the national park. We can't do the hunting.
And they're allowed to stay in the national park.
Yeah, they're allowed to stay. It's because originally the nomadic life is the original culture of Mongolians. So the government has to respect it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that original?
So back in the days, we didn't have
Really?
we didn't have a fridge, but nowadays we do. And back in the days, when Mongolians, when it's really necessary, we kill animals during the summertime. But regularly, we don't kill animals during the summertime. It's because, first of all, when we kill an animal, it's really hard to save the meat for a long time. And second, during the summertime, all the animals can produce a lot of milk, and you can have as much protein as you want during the summertime. But when it's really necessary, we kill an animal and we save the meat inside the rocks in the cold caves. So, but it's not used anymore.
Freezer.
Yeah, freezer. Every family has a freezer, but not a washing machine.
So they butcher their own animals?
Hmm?
They kill and butcher their own animals?
Yeah. That's men's responsibility in Mongolia.
Ah, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Men always kill the animals, and women has to take care of like the organs and stuff.
Oh, come on.
When we, for example, when we kill a sheep, first of all we eat organs, fresh organs, and after that we eat the meat.
So how do they sell their produce? Do they go to markets, or how do they sell to get money?
Well, that's a good question. Back in the days, there was a roaming guys. Like those guys owned Russian vans, and they roam around the countryside with some full load of goods, and they have like almost everything that the nomadic people need. Maybe flour, rice, or salt, everything, and they fully load their vehicle and they roam around the countryside, and they traded goods with the cashmere or wool or even with the money. Back in the days we used to hunt marmot, and we used to sell those marmot fur to Chinese and Russian people. Yeah. At that time everybody went crazy, you know, they killed almost all of the marmots. Now hunting marmot is illegal now. So, and also we eat marmot as well. So Mongolians basically eat everything.
So
Except human.
what happens now that those vans don't go around? What happens now?
They don't go around, they don't roam anymore. But there's still some kind of middlemen. So basically, we just passed a town, right? And there's some center that buys cashmere and wool, or even meat, or even live animals.
So what does this family sell?
So this family she actually sells milk to the nearest camps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cow milk.
Nobody has any chickens. Is it too cold for chickens, or?
Well, there are some chickens. We actually passed by a family who owns the chicken. Yeah, but it's very few. And well, the funny thing is, it was around 7, 8 years back then. The eating of pork or chicken used to consider as fancy stuff. But no more. Nowadays we have KFC. It's more common now. Yeah, it's not fancy anymore. But in Mongolia, it's very common to have a sheep meat, which is and beef. It's quite common, but it's not really common to have pork for dinner. So.
But pigs are not wild, they're normally a piggery, contained in.
There's plenty of fences.
One of the bad things in Mongolia is we have 80 million animals, but the beef costs us like $6 per kilo. That's a lot of money for us. Yeah. Maybe in foreign countries it's not true.
Not compared to your average wage.
Yeah. But comparing to our average wage, it's
a lot of money.
Very expensive. Chicken is cheaper now. Any other questions?
Why do people have the yurts in the backyard? In the cities, people have a yurt in the backyard.
Backyard. In the city, they are still living in a gear, in a yurt.
Okay.
So in the stove they burn coal. So during the winter time, it's very smoky in the town. So if you notice, there were a lot of construction going on in the southern part of Ulaanbaatar. So in the central Ulaanbaatar, my apartment, for example, cost me around $30,000 US.
To buy.
Yeah, to buy it. So $30,000 US is like nothing for you, right? In Australia, apartment is very, very expensive, but in Mongolia, it's still quite a lot of money. But in the southern part of Ulaanbaatar, the similar apartment, same sized apartment as mine, will cost me around $90,000 US.
Oh, you're right.
Because
it's in the city.
Yeah, even in the same city, but northern part of Ulaanbaatar is polluted. Southern part is less polluted. There's no gear districts in the southern part of Ulaanbaatar. So that's why those apartments are very expensive. Yeah.
But some of the places we passed on the way in had a building, a structure, like a small house, and in the yard it had a yurt as well.
Yeah. During the summertime, some of those guys, maybe they were, maybe some of those guys were nomadic back then, and gear is actually very comfortable to live during the summertime. It's because you can fold up the two sides of the gear, and the wind blows, cross breeze, and it's very good to live during the summer. But in the winter, it's it's a bit colder.
So all this felting, do they felt that all themselves?
Yeah. Nowadays they can buy the felt, but back in the days they always made it with the hand. Look at this baby. All right. Any questions?
Well, you better finish it off.
Okay, let's watch the felt.
Is that the alcoholic one?
No. So it's not ours.
No. Thank you. I know. I said, thank you.
Two chairs.
That's like a summer house for the kids.
So when they move, does that go?
before.
Each time I go through.
Yeah. We don't have the rainy season. In the summertime. We don't get that much.
Come on, Woody, you could let him kick with the wind instead of into the wind.
Well done, Woody.
It's hot,
But actually, it's not progressing like from last year. It's the same. It's in the same state as it was the last year. Like
oh,
no,
right,
no
so they've
movement.
run out of money.
Probably it's like
You do anything, can't you? But they must have run out of money. But I saw.
Your numbers for the Buddhist teaching about the teaching. We're going back now.
I missed the toilet.
I'll just get up here, I think, so I don't fall up and take a photo. Anti-clockwise. I mean clockwise.
Yeah.
Girls,
Judy.
shall we walk a little way, or are you done in?
I reckon just walk across and
Yeah. I'm going back. I'm just I'm going back, Barry.
Can I have one? You want one? Close? Yeah. Put it in the pocket for Ron.
Where's Sharon? Oh, there's Sharon. Very impressive. Madame.
Hello. 6 inches higher, just on that seat.
Here's cashmere camel. That is type of camel.
Other side of the path, it's Mongolian traditional transport. Alright, let's head to the It is also said that in Mongolia there's a Buddhist tree in the monastery.
But it was so tempting.
That it is said that Genghis Khan, he was a shamanist. Even nowadays, shamanists are getting to speak. When they do their ceremony, they start to speak very different kind of Mongolian language, and some of the words can. Well, the guys like me, we don't understand what they are saying, but there's a special guy whose name is Touche. They translate what they are saying. So at the start of the ceremony, some shamans drink a lot of alcohol. They speak whole different language. They have main street of Ulaanbaatar. On our front left side, that's the big building. Over here is a State Department store. But if you look to the right side, there is a monument. There's a Beatles statue behind those apple wall. It's because during the Soviet time, the Mongolian people were not allowed to listen to Beatles. And all we listened to was Russian music and Mongolian traditional music. And people secretly passing the cassettes to each other and listening to Beatles. And most of those guys who are above 40 years old, even nowadays they very like to listen to Beatles in Mongolia. And they were very big influence of the Mongolian musicians. And these two houses are Union of Mongolian Arts. Our full seat is on our traditional.